Hey K-Poppers, and welcome back to Hallyu. Today's deep dive is going to be so much fun because we're talking about the Idol Star Athletics Championships. We'll start with a quick primer in case this is the first time you're hearing of this glorious competition, and then we'll take a look at the grandeur and fun that make it such a highlight every year for K-pop fans. And finally, we'll relive 5 unforgettable moments from over the years that are impressive in all kinds of different ways. Before we get started, I want to quickly thank Hallyu's honorary producers. If you want to show off your bias group here, share your pics in weekly videos, and join a vibrant Discord community with watch parties, custom emoji, and more, all you need to do is support Hallyu on Patreon. Alright, so let's jump into the fun, starting with the obvious question. What is the Idol Star Athletics Championship, or ISAC for short? Well, in short, it's the K-pop Olympics, a day or two of fun, chaos, and impressive athletics from all of our favorite idols, and their dogs, which we'll get to later. But there's a lot more to it than that simple description, so let's go into it with a bit more detail. The Idol Star Athletics Championship began all the way back in 2010 with the idea of making a fun, multi-sport event for fans to enjoy which featured their favorite celebrities, mostly consisting of K-pop idols, but also including a few other celebrities too. The show was broadcast as a television event on MBC, and since 2010 there have been 19 such championships. Usually ISAC runs twice a year and goes over the course of a day or two. Often the dates are set up to have one in January or February and then one in September so that it can coincide with the Chuseok festival. There are plenty of different events to check out as a fan, with just about all of them split between men's and women's events. And this is a pretty legitimate event if you ask me. Over the years, the various competitions have included short distance races like the 100-meter race, hurdles, a 400-meter relay race, high jump, 50-meter freestyle swimming, archery, bowling, and plenty more. There's something for everyone. But what makes ISAC a highlight for me personally every year is the grandeur of it all. As someone who is a fan of many different idols and groups, just having all my biases in the same room together is awesome. Then you add in everything that comes with the events and the fact that your biases might even be competing against each other, and it adds a whole other level. And just how big is that competition? Well, the first ever ISAC in 2010 hosted 130 different competitors from 16 different teams and has continued to grow every year with K-pop. The January 2020 ISAC was a 3-day spectacle which included 202 competitors from 51 different groups, and it was amazing. You really do just have to watch one of these to appreciate the theatrics, the chaos, and the hilarity that ensues with so many idols in one place. Not to mention the fans who often number the thousands cheering on their favorite groups. And as I was mentioning briefly earlier, despite the chaos and fun, there's a very well put together structure that adds some real legitimacy to the whole thing. You got a broadcast crew, a swear-in ceremony for the athletes, legitimate competitions, competitor bibs, medals to be won, and of course there's record keeping too. Looking back at the record holders for various events as a longtime K-pop fan is quite the walk down memory lane. For example, Shiny's Minho in 50-meter freestyle swimming, Sistar's Bora in 100-meter hurdles, and the 5'4" Luna of FX high jumping almost her entire height. Another big reason to watch ISAC as a fan is just to appreciate the impressive talents and athleticism on display. You really do get to see another side of idols at ISAC, and I know I've definitely had some new biases form after watching idols compete and show off their very best. And I'm sure it's a great time for the idols too. It's a chance to blow off some steam and have some fun while doing something not related to a promotion schedule. Plus, this past year there were even puppies involved. This happened at the most recent ISAC, which actually featured competition, which was back in October of 2020. Obviously, due to the pandemic, there had to be some big change-ups for how ISAC was running, and so the 19th ISAC actually featured a dog agility competition and esports battles on games like PUBG. The finals of the dog agility competition featured G-Idol Shuhua against Mamamoo Moonbyul, and it was just adorable to watch these dogs. Really, the Idol Star Athletics Championships is just all around fun. It's a delightful spectacle where the worlds of sports and K-pop collide, and it's a blast to watch every single time. Now, if I haven't convinced you yet, I'm sure this next section will, because I'm going to share 5 of my absolute favorite moments from the various ISAC competitions over the years. Let's start with an iconic moment from the 2018 ISAC. We're jumping into the women's archery competition where Gugudon's Sejong and Red Velvet's Irene are facing off. Red Velvet are trailing Gugudon pretty significantly at this point, but then Irene does this. Not only does Irene score a perfect 10, but she hits the mark exactly in the center. So precisely, in fact, that the tiny camera placed at the very center gets broken and knocked out of its place by her arrow. And this story has some extra fun rolled into it as well, because just before this, a bet was made among the broadcast crew that one of them would buy the ref's chicken if somebody hit that camera. You can see the reaction from the broadcaster when this actually happens. For our second highlight, I'm letting my bias shine through because we're going to rhythmic gymnastics. Now, for some context, Uju Seonyeon's Cheng Xiao had a legendary performance in 2016 that set an ISAC record for the highest score. In 2018, April member Rachel earned a gold medal for her performance with the same prop. And then, at the very next ISAC in 2019, Rachel returned with an even more difficult routine set to a rendition of I Will Survive. Rachel had a near flawless run and ended up beating Cheng Xiao's score to take her second consecutive gold medal and the record. Our third highlight comes from the 2019 ISAC, and this one is just unbelievable. 17 are in the midst of a team archery event against NCT 127, with DK lining up to fire the final 4 arrows for the team.
10점만 봐도 신기록 작성. 마지막 발! 10점! 9점!
DK hits 4 perfect 10s in a row, giving 17 an unbelievable score of 95 out of 100, which easily broke the team archery record. Just outstanding athleticism from DK and 17 as a whole. Speaking of athleticism, our fourth highlight is a 2-in-1, a pair of relays that were just incredible to watch. First up is the 2015 4x100 meter relay race, which features 17, B1A4, Teen Top, and BTS. Coming into the final handoff, BTS are in second place in a fairly close race, but not for long, because that's when the baton got handed to Jungkook and he ran fast. Jungkook took the lead quickly, and by the end of his 100-meter sprint, he had taken a massive lead, taking the win for the Bangtan boys. On the girls' side, we're jumping to 2017 for the women's 4x100 meter relay. This race featured EXID, G-Friend, Twice, and Oh My Girl, and let me tell you, it was not even close. After Oh My Girl member Jiho took a slight lead for the second segment, Yua turned on the jets and absolutely decimated the competition, building a quarter lap lead. And the closer Benny rounded it out strong too. By the time she neared the finish line, she couldn't believe how far ahead she was and literally stopped to walk across the finish line. She had that much time. And for the last highlight, we have this perfectly gifable moment with Twice's Jui in 2016. Jui is representing Twice in their heat against G-Friend in women's archery, and though her next arrow would have completely missed the target and end up on the floor, the footage that it gave us is nothing short of perfection. The bowstring catches her hair, perfectly flipping it behind her shoulder as if she meant to do it. I don't have too much more to say about that one, it honestly just speaks for itself. Wow. So there you have it, that's what the Idol Star Athletics Championship is all about. I hope you tune into the next one when it happens, and if you're a regular watcher, share your favorite moment in the comments section. As always, thank you so much for watching this deep dive, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on all the K-pop content that comes your way every single week right here at Hallyu. This has been Deep Dive number 58, ISAC.